Alright. Some plants. I lied. Well, I didn't lie. We said we were just going to let everything ride out, in the storm. And we were getting ready. And Keely was out there helping me put everything together. And she said, "What's that?" And I said, "That's the kale. That's dino kale, the lacinato. And we haven't had that in a long time. We've been growing that curly kale, right?" And I decided to plan out a packet of this. And she saw it and she was like, "You better save that." So I had to move that inside. So we had to find a spot in here. So we've got a bunch of stuff. I got the lights going. Couple of basil plants. You don't need a whole lot of basil, right? Because you can just cut the top off, stick it in there, and grow more basil. You can't do that with kale. So she wanted me to save the kale. So we've got that and it's going out. This video is not going to be edited. I'm just going to talk, and I just got to kind of get a couple things off my chest. And most time I make videos, I think, what do you need? What can I show you? And this was more for me. So if you just care about plants and that, it's fine. Y'all can move on. And this is just for a couple of people that want to watch and understand what's going on down here. First off, I'm okay. We're lucky. The storm shifted. Lots of you know I'm in North Florida, and the track was going towards North Florida, and the last day it shifted and went around, and that's awesome for us. And I just wanted to kind of explain a couple things, because I was online and saw a bunch of knuckleheads and that, and it's a little disheartening sometimes, and I want to let some people know what actually goes on down here with a lot of people that live here and have lived here a long time, or sometimes all their lives. The sun's, it's only 6 o'clock, so it's still dark. We can't get outside yet and start cleaning up. It's going to clear up today, but you still have to be careful because there's still loose branches and stuff can still fall. So we're going to wait for the sun to come up and light to get outside and actually mess with anything. So I just figured I'd get on here and talk with a couple of people, because I was on the internet a lot. You guys know I love the internet. It helps us get together, connect, run a business. It's just an awesome thing, an awesome opportunity. And it was also cool that during these storms, I grew up in Miami. As a kid, I was born down in Miami. And it was a lot different back then. Storms would come, you just have the newspaper and the news that came on like in the morning and at night. So it was a little different. And nowadays, for us to have the internet and watch in real time where things are going, it's actually helped a lot. But I just want to let everyone know, because if you've been watching the news, you saw there's like destruction and stuff that happened down at Fort Myers, and it's really bad. And we were lucky. Like I said, don't worry about me. I'm not asking for sympathy or anything. I just want to let you know we were lucky, and the storm veered away from us and went around us. And unfortunately, it's going back up into the Carolinas, turned back into a hurricane. Category 1, and it's going back up into the Carolinas right now. And I just want to let people know, because even though it's Category 1, and I know there's a lot of you watch and see people on the internet now. See, before, like I said, when we were young and there was just a newspaper, you never heard about all this stuff. But with social media now, when like these storms come by and it's like Category 1, Category 2, and people get on there and we're all yucking it up, and they're talking about hurricane parties, and even Publix made friggin' cakes that look like hurricanes, and that doesn't help, but for some people who live down here, acting like that is kind of their way of dealing with what happens to some people. We can't walk around with a sense of dread and panic all the time, right? And we live somewhere. I know people go, "Oh, just move out of Florida," but it's not that easy for everyone, and we know that's a trade-off. We get to grow year-round, we get lovely weather, but then we get this bad weather that comes. So that's why I say I'm not asking for sympathy or anything. I just want to let people know what's happening and why some people, they act like that. I hate it when I see it, and because Category 1, Category 2, even 70 miles an hour, which is below, that's just a tropical storm. Driving down the road at 70 miles an hour, stick your head outside the window. You feel how fast that wind's blowing. How long can you keep your face out there? You imagine sustained winds like that. Imagine gusts up to 150 miles an hour. And I think Fort Myers, Sanibel Island, some of the places that it went across, sustained winds were like at 130, 140 miles an hour. So imagine that, just hour after hour, just getting pounded by that. Storm surges, up above your house just floating away. So, we know what might be coming. The hurricanes aren't, tornadoes rather, aren't any better. Any kind of disaster's not better. But those things happen. It's like they sound the alarm, everyone panics, seek cover, and it goes over. With these hurricanes, unless they just spur up in the Gulf and they're here in a couple of days, usually we're watching them. And even though they're, some of them start in Africa. So you guys have watched all the hurricane trackers and everything, and if you're like in Montana and that, it's kind of hard to imagine being where something might end up. So you're watching all of these, and people kind of act like a knucklehead because some people just are, and then but a lot of people, it's their way of dealing with it, is knowing that this monster, this 100-mile wide monster, might be heading towards your area, and watching it come and preparing the prep. Everybody waits and okay, this one might come this way, and you're watching, and then when they go, okay, it is coming your way, then everyone panics and they all go out and they're buying water, bread, soap, soup, toilet paper, and everything, and so the stores are empty. You go up to the store, there's no bread anywhere, and water's all gone. So we go through that. It's all a prep, and then like I said, even though people are yucking it up, saying they're having hurricane parties, and when these storms go over, nobody's partying. Even if it's a Category 1, when people say they are, they really aren't. There is a sense of dread because, like I said, Irma was the last big one that went through, and it actually went right by us. We caught the outer bands of it, so it was Category 2, and we weren't even in the direct path, just the outer bands. Power goes off the night before, and this one went past us at night, which is really scary because you're laying there complete dark, no power, and waiting for this thing to pass. And when it goes by, it's like I said, you imagine it just sounds like a freight train, just the wind rumbling and constantly going, and then pieces of your house flying off, and we're at the edge of woods, and you just hear trees just snapping like twigs, and then you hear thud and pitch black, and you're just thinking, thank God that one didn't hit the house, and it's a scary feeling. Lots of people go through that, and then you see the destruction that happens. I mean, Sanibel Island, I remember being a kid, we used to camp. I have a whole lot of memories. When you're a kid, you remember some things, and one of the things that I remember was going out camping. And it was a little barrier island, and we would camp and go looking for shells, and this place was known for shells. We actually had a little chart with the different shells on it, the different whelks and coquina shells and all of this, and we would try and find them and collect them, and just one of my fond memories of being a kid. And a barrier island, if you don't know, off the mainland, there's these little tiny islands, and it's called, it's a barrier island. It breaks the waves and stops some of the erosion from the mainland, where most of the people are. So there was one bridge going out to it, and if you guys have been watching the news, you've seen pictures of that bridge is gone. I mean, it just wiped out section of the bridge and the causeway going over there. There's no way in or out. Those people, if they stayed, that was 140 mile an hour winds. That was a huge storm surge. You guys saw houses floating away, but some people stayed because they were going in there with helicopters and dropping food off and trying to check on people. So I can't even imagine what they're going through. And then Fort Myers looks like it was just leveled like a bomb went off. And they don't know the death toll or anything because lots of people thought it was going to hit Tampa. People evacuated Tampa, and lots of those people went south. Some people went north, and the track of the storm was north, so a lot of people went south to Sarasota, Fort Myers, in that area, and that's where the storm ended up going. So they're not really sure what all happened down there and how many people actually evacuated from Fort Myers, which is a heavily populated place. So they're just going through rescue right now and seeing who needs help until we try to figure out who's missing. So that's really scary. So that's what we go through, is that we see this monster coming, and this impending doom. Some people joke about it, and you know that all these people that do that, 95% of people are going to be okay. It's 5 to 1%, you know, that something happens, you know, is that it's unfortunate, and you know, and some of those people, if they were the ones joking, they don't joke anymore. So it's you do that, you ride out the storms. Like I said, we're like lucky. It veered off, went all the way off the coast, and then unfortunately came back in. So like I said, we're okay. We just have, you know, we had 35 to 40 mile an hour winds, and so it's like branches down and things like that, you know, around our house. It's just a bunch of cleanup, and it's just tough getting back into things and making videos and doing the gardening when you go out and we have to clean up. There's some pile stuff by the road, and while you're doing that, you're cleaning up, you look at your house and just think, you know, there's people. Imagine coming back to your house and it's just flattened. Everything you own is just, you know, you're left with some important things, but the rest of your stuff is just all laid out and flattened and destroyed. There's hundreds of people going through that right now, probably thousands, and you know, so it's kind of this thing where you feel a sigh of relief, because you know this thing was coming, and you're okay, and then you know, knowing that other people are going through, you know, just some disaster is just kind of tough. And that's why I just want to get on here and let people know, because I was watching like live streams. Like I said, I like, you know, that we're on the internet, we can follow things in real time and see what's going on. But then you see all these knuckleheads in the chat saying, oh, it's fake, that's fake, and making fun and just saying stupid things, or you know, that you're a bunch of sinners down there and God's doing this on purpose, it's because you're sinners, and just all kinds of just ludicrous stuff. So I just want to let people know, you know, that you know, some of the things that go on down here is this long drawn out process, you know, before and during and after, and even, you know, all of us that make it through and we're okay, we still know that there's another one that might be popping up and coming. So you know, it just gets tough. And just seeing like Pepe, and that's, we're just watching him, and he went through that and destroyed his whole farm and his family, and just the story, if you guys haven't heard, you know, like his story, he was on his roof, and they came by to rescue, and they had to take the women, and him and his son had to wait, I think, for another whole day before they came back, you know, just to rescue him. You know, I can't even imagine that. And then watching him go through the process and rebuilding. That's why I was showing you guys his farm, and he's rebuilt and bigger and better than ever, you know, and that's awesome, and it's inspirational, and that, but you know, that stuff that happened is really traumatic, and I can't even imagine people going through that, and you know, so you know, it's going to take a while, you know, for people to build back here, and seeing stuff like Pepe and that, it's just inspirational. But I just want to let you guys know, you know, that all this stuff is rough, you know, and the people that are out there making fun and joking and laughing, the people living here in Florida that do it, and like I said, there's some knuckleheads in that, but a lot of people are doing it, that's the way of coping. But people around the world, or around you know, the rest of the U.S. like are getting on this. I know it's a bunch of kids in that, but you know, just making fun of people and or saying stuff isn't real. This is real shit down here. So you know, people are saying it's not real. They said because what we have one weatherman a couple years back. Everybody remembers that. They were standing. They got in a hole knee deep in water, and were reporting that, you know, water was so deep, and then somebody just walked by behind of them. And because one knucklehead did that, you know, now they think all weathermen are all liars and they're all only doing stuff for show. And those are the people I want to just snatch up and bring them down here to where somebody's house is just flattened, or somebody didn't get out and show them, you know, friggin' death and devastation and that, and what it's really like. And you know, it's not really a laughing matter at all. So it's disheartening seeing so much of it. Before, like I said, before the internet, you wouldn't know, because you know, we would just watch the news and we wouldn't know that, you know, how people felt or said things. So you know, now we're getting all those social platforms, and it's just really disheartening. But at the same time, all the people that are coming out saying, you know, sending thoughts and prayers and donating, like the Red Cross and stuff, and helping out, and people getting together and watching them get out there and rescue people, rescue pets, and help each other. And you know, those are all the good stories. So it's just like a flood of emotions, just all kinds of stuff going on, and it's tough to get out and just start doing our normal stuff again, and then making a video and editing and just trying to sound normal when things aren't. So appreciate it if you guys have stuck around so long. I just want to let you know, like I said, it's not for me, it's not for sympathy, and we're okay. I just thought that some people should know about this, and I'll put this up here on my channel so that, you know, it's just something for me to look back on, and other people, you know, might see it, you know, down the road, and more people have an understanding of what some people are going through, and maybe a lot more people can be a little more compassionate, and we can all get through these things a lot better. So I'll be getting back out there. We're going to be doing cleanup today, and I'll try to do this and get some videos out. The other channel, you guys who have gone over there, at night I'm still putting up some of my older videos for people to use, so I'll still be doing that. That doesn't take me too much time, at, you know, a couple hours at night before I go to bed. But next week we'll be getting into live streams where I actually help more people. I started helping people setting up channels. People are selling stuff and making them a little extra money, growing things. There's all kinds of stuff going on, and that stuff's what keeps me going and makes me feel good. So if I haven't connected with you personally, or you missed one or two the live streams we had, there's going to be a lot more, and there'll be smaller ones, and we'll get together and I can help a lot more people. But if I haven't got to you yet, it's just because we've been a little preoccupied for the past week and for the forthcoming next couple of days. So I'm getting to everyone. Y'all take care, have a good one, live to inspire, keep on growing, be the change. Talk to you later.